You are cleared to enter. Welcome to Pizza Planet.
Welcome to Pizza Planet.
A Pixar podcast.
I'm Ben.
And I'm Gareth.
And we're your delivery guys.
Bringing you a square box of round, hot, cheesy Pixar goodness.
We've got a bounty of slices in today's feast, so let's dig in.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, welcome back, y'all.
This is actually...
Whoa, whose voice was that?
The world may never know.
We have, as you can hear, we have a guest here. But before we introduce him, Ben, I just want to say welcome back. Because
welcome.
I believe our audience will be hearing this for, this will be the first time hearing our voices in 6 months?
Whoa, season 3 is back, y'all.
Yeah, we took a really long breaks between episodes for the first couple episodes of season 3, but we are finally going to start posting semi-consistently.
Yes.
We've got more episodes in the works already, so don't you worry. This won't be the last time you hear from us in this year.
No. More to come.
More to come for sure. And today we're talking about a very special topic, all the way from South Bend, Indiana.
Whoa.
It is Tony Zinich.
Howdy.
Yeah.
You know this guy.
Tony's back, y'all.
Y'all have met him before.
He's a veteran with Pizza Planet.
Yes.
Welcome back, man.
Thank you.
Do you have anything to say to your adoring fans?
Hello. I said our dear composer friend Michael's name wrong, and I still don't know how to say it.
Oh, Giacchino? Or Giacchino?
I thought it was Giacchino.
Whatever we said, it was wrong. So I just
we still got it wrong.
like to go on record. I know, it's completely wrong. I don't know the right
Jonathan's
way to say it,
going to DM us and be like, guys, I told
please,
you.
Please.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Michael Giacchino or Giacchino, but
I thought it was Giacchino. I thought it was just 3 syllables.
It could be. I don't know. I'll have to
didn't
check
he?
that later.
Jonathan's already fact checked this so many times, Ben. We can't get this wrong.
Dang it! All right, for the third or fourth time. Sorry, Mike. My bad, Mike.
Not everyone named Michael likes to be called Mike.
Dang it! Sorry, Michael.
I have a dear friend named Michael, and he does not like to be called Mike.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Gosh.
All right.
Well, anyways.
Ben, is there something else, or I should say someone else here?
I do believe we have someone else in here. And not just someone. This is my sister-in-law. This is one talented heck of a musician. And dear friend, Mary Grace.
Yo, what's
Welcome, Mary Grace.
Welcome.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Okay, tell us about your... No, I'm kidding. Actually, let's have Tony...
Yup.
What is the topic today? Why are you and MG here?
There's a very special thing out there on the web now called A113.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
A Pixar tribute EP music project. I don't know how to wrap that up.
So, for anyone who hasn't been following us on socials, we have made a new EP, Ben and I, and we collaborated with MG and Tony to make essentially a 6-track tribute EP to Pixar. So it's all cover songs you guys know from Pixar movies. And today we are going to break it down. We're going to go behind the scenes. First of all, if you haven't listened to the EP right now, do us a favor. Pause the podcast. It'll be there when you're done. You can come back to it. Pause the podcast, go to Spotify or Apple Music or whatever your streaming choice is, whatever you stream music on, and look up A113 by Idiot Box Collective. Now, Ben, why is it... Do you want to explain to our audience what Idiot Box Collective is?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask me to explain A113, and I was going to say, well, if you're a Pixar fan,
well, yeah,
you should know
so to be clear,
what that means,
A113, yes, is the EP title. I just don't want people to get confused.
Yes.
Idiot Box Collective is the credited artist because essentially that is our collective, Ben and I's, whenever we do collaborations for short films or for music that involves a lot of people. It's just easier to publish through Idiot Box Collective, and then we can kind of post it as multiple collaborators. So essentially, Ben is on there, Mary Grace is on there, Tony's on there, and I'm on there. There's 6 tracks.
Yep.
It's called A113. Ben, why is it called A113?
Yeah, well, y'all know that's the Easter egg. It's in probably every Pixar film, or at least most Pixar films somewhere. And that Easter egg, the reason for that A113 Easter egg is because the classroom back at Cal Arts, the California Arts School.
I think it's
I don't know. Institute of the Arts. California, yeah.
It's Cal Arts.
That place, Cal Arts, the classroom where the original guys from Pixar, way back in the day, where they met each other and where they, Pixar basically.
This is a very pivotal classroom, not just for Pixar, but for the entire animation industry in the last couple decades. And that's why you see A113 not just in Pixar movies, you see it in other animated projects too. Like it's showed up in The Simpsons. It's showed up in I'm pretty sure it's showed up in a DreamWorks movie before. I don't have an exact site for all the places it's popped up, but it is not exclusive to Pixar, but is definitely known by Pixar fans as a recognizable Easter egg, which is why we picked that as the title.
Yep. And this like the animation class that you would go to if you wanted to study animation. This is the school you'd go to, and this was the room that she would be in. And so all these famous now heads of Pixar, they met in this classroom, and so it has I guess some sentimental value. Like that's the room where we met. That's where it all happened. So that's where our title comes from.
And we are gonna, for our discussion today, we're just gonna go track by track. We're gonna go through this EP. And we're going to talk about track 1. Then we're going to talk about track 2. And there's 6. There's track 3. There's 6 tracks in all. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're gonna talk about "Steal the Show."
Oh yeah.
So "Steal the Show" is a song from, if you don't recognize that title, it is a song from the movie Elemental, and it is written by Ari Leff, Michael Matosic, and the incomparable Thomas Newman, who scored that movie. So let's start by asking Tony, because I should also probably clarify, Tony is our musician who covered this song.
Yep.
So what inspired you to pick "Steal the Show"?
It's a banger. That's very much that.
Enough said. No.
I went through all the covers, not all the covers, the options for covering, and that one just kept popping out because it's a slammer. And I'm a big fan of John Bellion.
Oh boy!
And I love his style. And I love trying to recreate that style. So in the back of my head, I'm like, I kind of want to do a John Bellion kind of just vibe to something. And that song was the song that was the one. That was easy enough to do.
Yeah.
So.
Now, if I can share a quick anecdote, Tony and I have listened to John Bellion together before. And so I knew prior to this project Tony's love of John Bellion, but as soon as he showed us his demo for "Steal the Show," my first thought and comment was, you're trying to do John Bellion. It is especially
drums. It's all the drums.
Well, no, it's especially evident on verse 2, like when the strings drop in.
Yes.
That part
Totally.
specifically, and you have like this low, it's like a bassy horn kind of. I don't know. I'm describing this terribly.
Yes, go for it.
But
on the hits.
Yeah. But that part specifically was like, oh, he's 100% just ripping off John Bellion. Not ripping off. But
inspired by.
Yeah. He's 100% doing a John Bellion thing, which is awesome because it brings, your flavor, it brings John Bellion's flavor, and it brings the original artist's flavor all together. The original artist was Lauv. I don't actually know how to pronounce his name. It's
Lauv.
Yeah, Lauv. But yeah, good job.
Thank you.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it feels really fresh, and that's something that we're gonna talk about as we go on. Is like these were, I don't know if we said this, but these songs, these covers were meant to be kind of like artistic, like reimagining kind of the track.
Yeah,
and this is a great example of really artistically, flipping it a bit.
Yeah. Like we definitely didn't want to just like do it the way it was done previously.
Yeah.
We're trying to infuse something original into it, and so hopefully when you guys listen, it'll make you want to listen again because it's like, well, I've not heard that before.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if I'm just saying this, I'm not saying this because you're my friend. This is the truth. If I heard that track and that was the first track I heard, I would be on your Spotify page right away. I would be like, okay, what else you got? So
Yeah, and
hold on.
I do also want to mention all of us do have. Well, yeah, we do have currently published music outside of the EP.
Yep.
So
check out those pages and yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, seriously, well done, man.
Thank you. That's the most time I've taken on one of my own songs in a long time. The stuff, so like 2019, I came out with my first EP, and it was pretty acoustic-y, but I recorded it in 2015, and I just let it sit there for 4 years, and I was like, I should probably put this out, so I did. So I took a while on those songs, and everything in between those songs and Steal the Show, I did in like either a day or like 3 days, and it was done, and I put it out, and I was like, okay, I'm done, go.
Yeah.
This one I actually took a lot more time on and made it what I think is good. So yeah.
I was just gonna say the production is really pretty. Do you like have any like stories you want to share about the production as far as like how you produced it or like specific challenges that you encountered that were
making that lead synth line, the ding 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 ding, that part, like an attractive sound that wasn't like super bright or like just kind of boring. I layered 4 synthesizers on top of each other to do that and panned them all apart, and like I won't get very super technical about it, but I did a lot of things to it to make that sound, and then layered everything in like octaves and all that, just to like, that was like the one part, and I was like, I gotta grab people right in the first second, and how do I do that, and like how do I simplify everything else to make that sound like good and really like grab your attention. So at the beginning of the song, for a while I had a bunch of other stuff going on too, with like acoustic guitars and all this, and about halfway through the project I was like, this is a giant mess, I just gotta start deleting things. I deleted everything except for like those synthesizers that make that sound, and then one other synthesizer that's just like do-do-do-ding, do-do-do-ding,
oh yeah,
do-do-do-ding, and that's all you hear. And then when the vocals come in, I add back in the acoustic guitar lightly. But I learned a lot about like how much is too much, and what can I delete that's either not necessary or makes the thing that you're supposed to listen to better. So that's a big thing I learned from the project as a producer. So
yes,
Nice.
yeah,
very nice. What were you gonna ask, Ben?
That was my question, but yeah, I seem like you had to have a lot of fun with it, because you mentioned being inspired by John Bellion, but there's just so many things that like twists and turns in this song, like where you're expecting one way and then all of a sudden it's like boom, it like like dynamic shift, and then now we're like something else is happening, or like all of a sudden you bring in some like really low like the harmonies with the vocal like layering that you do is super cool as well. And yeah, I don't know, what was that like as you were imagining the track?
Yeah, so that's ADD for you. It just keeps changing. I'm like, I'm done with this. Moving on to the next thing. Also, I've heard from like a friend of a producer that a song should change in some way every 4 bars. Probably in the production or with vocal layering or whatever, just to keep people's attention. Because if it keeps repeating the same thing, it can keep your attention, but it's more likely to keep your attention if something new is introduced constantly. So I did that like kind of to the extreme in some areas. There's like 4 major parts. There's like the more not John Bellion sounding, the more like synthy part in the first chunk through the first chorus, if I'm remembering right. And then it goes to the strings part, then it goes to like a piano part with a cello in the background, and then it goes back to the beginning again and reintroduces that concept.
Right.
So there's like those big stages in it that really change and keep your attention. And then my goal was just like, how do I change this? How do I change it? How do I change it? So, yeah, I don't know. You just start with the drum beat, let it go the whole time, and you're like just kind of play with that on top of it with different instruments. So, yeah.
Let's go. Yeah.
Definitely, no offense to you guys, definitely one of my top tracks.
Yeah. Thank you. It really, as soon as I heard it, I was like, this has to be the one that starts the EP.
Yeah.
So
it might be not to make the audience feel like this is going to go downhill, but that might be my favorite
Thank you.
of the EP.
Yeah. Really good job, man.
It's pretty rad.
Thanks.
Did you have any questions for Tony M to the G?
Put her on the spot.
I don't think so. I mean, it was just good. I liked how unique it was.
Oh, thank
I
you.
don't really have any questions for you, though.
You
That's
didn't
all right.
have to prepare any. I was just gonna check because now we're gonna put you in the
do the
hot seat.
My bad, guys.
Yeah, I'll transition this because my favorite song on the EP is MG's song "Our Town."
Thanks,
Yeah.
tone
Yeah.
to the E.
T to the Z.
Yeah. It's a banger, and it's
so
Thanks,
good.
guys.
It's
So-
so good.
So yeah, Tony transitioned us to Our Town. Our Town is a song from Cars,
Heck yeah.
2006, and it's written by Randy Newman, the voice of early Pixar.
Yeah.
So tell us about why you picked Our Town, MG.
Not to steal what Tony said, but it's a banger. Okay. I take that back. I can't steal his answer. It's just... Cars is such a good movie, and that part especially. Like, you know, the rest of the movie, the rest of the Cars movie is like, bow, 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 life is a highway.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hype, and like, this is just such a stark difference, and it's that one scene. It just always gets me in the feels, man.
Yeah.
For those of you that like can't picture it, it's the part in the movie where it's like the montage of how their town used to be like popping off. It was like super cool. It was a hot spot, and then it was so sad. Like as James Taylor is singing, like, it's like shows how everyone is leaving the town, and then it's sad. So always gets me in my feels.
Yeah, for real. Pixar for
Oh, yeah, we should probably mention the song is sung by James Taylor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm a big fan of James Taylor too. So that also grabbed me. Just like the fact that I knew who was singing it, I think probably drew me to the song just because I know his voice, and he's just such a chill guy. So
I'm also glad you brought up the scene, like the context within the
Yes.
movie where the song came from, because cue Pixar feels.
Yeah, right, for sure. Yeah.
Because that actually is very much a like crux of that movie. So like I would say that song is more foundational than even like the song everyone knows from that movie. Life is the
Right.
Highway isn't even technically from that movie, but everyone associates it because it was such a memorable scene, you know.
Yeah.
But Our Town is arguably like the story point in the movie where like it anchors the heart of the movie. So.
right, and you're like, oh dang, this is kind of deep.
Yeah.
And you start to like feel for all the townspeople.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, that's why it drew me to it.
That's awesome.
Well, that you unpacking that makes so much sense as to why I think I definitely had like an emotional connection with the song. Cars is unfortunately one of those movies, Pixar films, I have not revisited in a long time, so I actually don't have a lot of memories of that particular movie. But now like it's all coming back when you talk about that scene, and now I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
like that's where all like there's so many parts especially in your cover that there's just like so much soul behind it, and it's like woo, like it really hits you in the
soul.
feels. Yeah, and so but that makes a lot of sense. Like that song is foundational. I think you did a great job of bringing a lot of that out too. So
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Did you have any particular challenges during production?
I would say, yeah.
yes, I did.
Yes, I did. Mic drop.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, all of it was because I've never like made anything before. Ben was just like, yo, M to the G, you want to do this? And I was like, heck yeah, bro, this is such a great opportunity. And then it turned out, shout out Ball State, chirp chirp, I get Adobe Audition, like for free, air quotes, with my tuition. So yeah, it was just so exciting. And thank you, all of you, because you helped me a lot. Shout out to Ben. He spent a lot of time like teaching me how to use it and how to produce. And there was definitely a lot of challenges. Just like, first of all, it looks confusing as heck at first. Now I have it figured out. But like,
Oh, like the software, yeah.
yes, yeah, learning that. But now I just like, I have so much more confidence. So definitely gonna start working on more stuff. Yeah, but yeah, I would say biggest challenges were maybe lack of resources, but not really. It was fun. Like, it was a challenge, but it was fun. There was just, my favorite memories of recording were like sneaking up to my roommate's room to use her piano. Like every time she left for class, I would like sneak up there, and also I would lock myself in her closet. She was like shout out Morgan. Thanks for letting me use your room. Because I would like clear out that one closet and record all of the singing and stuff in there. So lots of good memes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. People are not gonna know or believe that this is your first time producing, recording. Yeah,
Thanks.
because it's really well done, and not only the production, but also just like, yeah, like you not only brought, like I mentioned, the soul to it, but like you really went, like it has like that kind of jazzy kind of feel, which makes sense because I know you and I know like your inspirations and your style and stuff.
Yeah.
But it really, I think this might be one of the best examples of a like a reimagining of the song, because it's so different but so unique and really well done.
Thanks.
So what was that like for you in that reimagination of like thinking about the song in kind of a different, almost a little bit of a different genre, and what that was like?
Yeah, I would say thanks James Taylor for putting down like a solid foundation. That's just such a good song to work with because it was already soulful, and I was just got really excited and was able to start like imagining what I could do with it. I don't know if you guys mentioned this, but it was like, I guess it's implied, like one of the biggest reasons for like the album was to kind of like show the listeners our different styles and reimagine it so that people listening to the album are like, oh, their style is super cool. Like, I want to see what else they're making, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So I don't really have anything else out on Spotify yet.
You have one
stay
song,
tuned.
don't you?
Yes, with Ben.
Yeah, collab, but not an OG yet. Yeah.
Nothing
No
like by
OG
myself
MG
yet.
yet.
Yeah. Stay tuned. But
Follow her on Spotify.
So I was thinking, like, what do I want people to kind of know me as, putting out like my first thing? I've always liked that jazzy, soulful, and it was just really fun. Really, all I did was like kind of play the chords and think of like some more jazzy like versions of the chords, work it in. I didn't realize what I could do until I just like jumped in and did it. It was overwhelming at first, but then once I started just like playing around with it and adding stuff, adding electric guitar and piano, I was like, this is kind of fire.
Yeah.
Let's keep going. And looking back, like there's things that I'm like, dang, I could have added this, and like I could have added, I don't know, all these instruments, but it's just exciting because it gets me thinking what I could do next.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome. Yeah, I have to say that like I didn't know totally what to expect as far as style-wise from you. I just knew you were a really good singer when we asked you onto the project. So I was really impressed at how like musical, like obviously all the songs are musical, but you didn't rely on like I don't know, like MIDI instruments and things that like, you know, a musician like myself leans a lot on that kind of thing. And so like I like that you were very organic with it, and I didn't even know if you would approach it like playing piano and guitar and stuff like that. Who was it? All you performing, or was there other performers?
It was just me. I tried to. I'm not gonna leave Will out. He definitely he helped me imagine. Yeah, shout out Will, Willie G. He helped me kind of just like play around with the electric guitar solo. And I
Yeah.
will admit, he's a lot better electric guitar than me. Like the one he came up with was insane. It was so groovy, but then it came down to it, like we were running out of time and I had to end up doing it. So I kind of simplified it. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was honestly my favorite part.
Yeah. That's so awesome.
So inspiration from Willie G.
Yeah.
Well, Tony, did you have any questions for M to the G?
No, I will say I'm impressed with how well you adapted to feedback. Because when you're like, we were sending demos and drafts and stuff back and forth, and I would hear something in like an early draft mix that you had done, and I knew this was like your first time going through this stuff. So I was like, how picky do I be? And I feel like I was pretty picky. I was like, this really specific spot in this thing like has an issue. This is what I would do to do it. And then I would listen to the next draft. I'm like, this is 100% better. Every time that like I would send feedback and get it, like hear it after that, I was like, dang, what the heck? Like she's figuring this thing out real quick. This is sweet. So I want to give you props for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do appreciate your feedback. I was like, I remember the first time I saw, it was through that app where you could like comment on the seconds of like,
There's
at this
400
part.
comments.
Yes. I remember scrolling through and being like, oh my gosh, where do I start? What is
Yeah.
EP or not EP? What is EQ?
Yeah.
What the heck? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Second by second. No, but it was really good because I'm glad you guys helped me to not just like settle for like letting it be mediocre or like not fixing all the little like pops and
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, and Tony's a master at not only production but like especially giving feedback. We'll talk more about this later, but definitely Tony's such a good person for feedback, and I think with the EP would not be what it is without
Feedback
your help.
and
For real.
collaboration.
Yeah.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that-
Stay tuned.
that's not-
We're a couple tracks away.
yeah. But one more time, that's my favorite song on the EP. So
Yeah,
Thanks,
that was
bro.
so good.
Mine too.
I
Yeah.
love the style. It's so good.
Well done.
Thanks, guys. It was an honor.
Take 5. We gotta go deliver some pizzas. Be right back.
Can you hear that? Low rumble of engines coasting down the freeway on a breezy Sunday. The lush crunch of a tire making contact with a gravel road of unexplored possibilities. Feel the cool wind and smell the sweet sun-baked desert air as you accelerate down the timeless route. Witness the awe of the mountains protruding from the earth like beckoning palaces of crimson stone. Your road might be long, but it doesn't have to be hard. Make every moment driven by purpose at Radiator Springs, Arizona. This fake ad has been fake paid for by the fake Radiator Springs Tourism Commission.
Here, there's transformation. Monsters come gentle and leave ferocious. We're the creeps, the ogres, the krakens, the Martians, the yetis, who want to scare for a living. We come of all shapes, sizes, colors, and textures. We're a family, bound by a common bond, tradition, diversity, friendship, and excellence. Whether your talent is causing screams or designing the canisters that capture them, Monsters University is a place to find your truest calling and reach your highest potential. In the words of Dean Hardscrabble, scariness is the true measure of a monster. Open the door to your future and become the monster you are meant to be at Monsters University. Building tomorrow's scares today.
Phew! Barely made that delivery. All right, back to the show.
So the next song on the EP is Down to Earth from Wall-E, written by Peter Gabriel and the incomparable Thomas Newman, who also scored Wall-E.
Yeah.
So this one, who covered
Oh, that was Gareth.
Hey.
You covered it.
Oh, that was me? Oh.
So, what was the inspiration?
The reason I picked Wally, I mean, anyone who listened to our last episode with Tony, well, no, not our last episode with Tony was the food episode. The episode before that with Tony was, we talked about soundtracks, and I'm pretty sure Wally was my number one, was it not? Or was it my number two? Can't remember.
Yeah, one of the top ones.
Basically, everyone should know who listened to that episode. I adore Thomas Newman, and Wally's one of my top soundtracks. And so, unlike Nemo, which I'm pretty sure Nemo was number two, I specifically gave the tipped in favor of Wally because of this song. So Nemo doesn't have an original song; it just has the Robbie Williams track at the end. And this Wally has this song. It's kind of a pop song, kind of a rock song. I don't know what genre to call it. It's a Peter Gabriel song. And it's in the credits of Wally, and it kind of sums up the vibe of the movie. And what I love about it, and this is what I also love about Steal the Show, is that those are songs that are co-written by the guy who composed the score for the movie. So it doesn't feel like they just hired a pop artist to be like, hey, make a song for this movie, do whatever you want. It's like they're part of the process. They're part of making the movie. Like Peter Gabriel didn't just come in and do whatever he wanted. He came in and helped complete the movie. And so by having Thomas Newman as a co-writer on it, it keeps the flavor and the vibe of the rest of the soundtrack in a way you don't often hear in movies. And so I was really torn when I was trying to decide what song to cover, because I was trying to decide between Elemental and Down to Earth. Steal the Show and Down to Earth. But then Tony helped me make a decision when he was
stealing it.
He was like, I'm gonna steal the show.
Steal the Show.
Which you did. You successfully did, because it's my favorite track. You stole the show. So yeah, that's why I picked Down to Earth. It is just, I think, my favorite Pixar song, and I had no clue what I was getting myself into.
Yeah, that song is wild. If you listen to it, like listening to the instruments and the production of it, that song is like not like other songs that I remember from that era. It is like, it is got funky chords. It is like has a lot of like pauses in it. And maybe I'm thinking of like the rhythmic, if you think of like acoustic guitar rhythms, it is like not a normal rhythm. No part of that song is normal. And I'm like, dang, the first time I listened to your demo, I was like, this is kind of wild. Like, this is kind of a crazy take on this song. And I listened to the song and I'm like, no, he's doing the song. Like, this song is crazy. What the heck? So that's a challenge. You picked a challenging song.
Yeah. I didn't realize how challenging it was until I started working on it. I got frustrated fast. If Ben and Tony recall, I sent them a demo early on, and I was like, hey, I hate this. Why do I hate this? Like, can you guys help me fix this? And you guys were trying to give me feedback on how to like tweak it. And I was just like, no, this needs more than a tweak. I'm starting over from scratch. So I actually redid the song from scratch at one point early on after I did my first demo. And essentially what I had to do to get it to be where I needed it to be, where I could like, I don't know, like comprehend what I'm doing. I essentially had to track drums first, because you're right, the rhythm is so complicated in this. It's got like, I don't know if syncopation is the right word, but it's got these delayed notes in the drum rhythm that are like not just hard to play, but also like they kind of mess up the rhythm of the song. So like adding on any like melodies or chords without having that drum foundation ended up, you just kind of futilely throwing stuff in there that needs to be taken out later. So, and it also just kind of messes with the drums. So I started with the drums, got that to where I needed it to go, and then from there just started layering on synths. So unlike MG, I relied mostly on synthesizers for this. I had my little keytar and
epic keytar.
Yeah,
is what you mean.
The signature sound.
and yeah, so after playing drums, so for anyone who any of our listeners who don't know, I'm originally a drummer. That was what my training was when I was coming up as a musician, and then I learned to write music, and then I learned to play a little. So I kind of did things backwards. I started out as a drummer, then I was a songwriter, then I kind of like dabbled in like playing piano and guitar, but not. I don't have any traditional training in those fields, so that's why I kind of lean on a lot of MIDI stuff, just because I don't know. That's just my flavor at this point. But yeah, I played all the drum parts and then added in synthesizers, and I think Tony mentioned earlier some advice that he heard from a music producer. I don't know who gave or who you were quoting there about making sure that the song changes and like evolves basically. And I shared a early draft of the Down to Earth with him, and he shared that with me, and that's how I ended up getting verse 2. If you listen to my cover in verse 2, basically every 4 bars, I think, there's like a different synth part. Like it just changes.
Yeah, you followed it. Nice.
And that was just me taking his suggestion literally and being like, all right, I'm just gonna do a different synth part here and a different synth part here. And I think it worked. I really enjoyed just coming up with different stuff, because that's the kind of stuff I like to do, is just like tickling the ivory and coming up with something random that never comes back, you know. Yeah, so verse 2 was fun. But yeah, the whole thing was a challenge.
Well, tell us also about the bridge, because I love the reimagination there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Love the creativity there.
So yeah, let me think. How does the bridge? Oh, because the bridge is in a different time signature, I believe. Because I think that the majority of the song is in 6/8, and I think the bridge is in 4/4.
The original version you're talking about.
Brother.
And my version.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so yeah, figuring that out and how to make it sound like it was kind of part of the same song was kind of challenging.
Yeah.
But I think the thing I was most proud of with that came out of this bridge was the synth lines. Because I felt like the way I had done it just felt very barren and like disconnected from the rest of the song, because I didn't know how to bridge it. Like, this is literally called a bridge. It's supposed to be a bridge, but it wasn't bridging. So I added in those.
Wasn't songing.
Yeah, I added in those synth notes just to give it a little bit of oomph, and I think it worked. I think it helped it get from there to there.
And how about, tell us about the spoken part?
Oh yes.
Spoken word part is pretty
cool. So after the bridge, you'll hear a little snippet that was inspired. So as I was wrapping up production on the song, I was still thinking there was stuff that was missing and that needed to be fixed and that needed to be like addressed. And the post bridge chorus wasn't working because it was I was doing it like a down chorus, which later we'll talk about down choruses on another track, but it just wasn't working. And so I was flying home from a work trip, and on the flight there was a delay, and the pilot came out and was like apologizing to people on the intercom. He's like, "This is your captain speaking," and I don't remember what he said, but he made some kind of joke and then immediately backtracked it. It was hysterical, because he was like, it wasn't even like an offensive joke, but he acted like it was, and he was like, "I am so sorry. I have to apologize to everyone on this flight. Like, I think I'm just, stressed from this delay, and like I want to take this seriously. I want to take this job seriously."
Wow.
And like,
What?
it was an amazing moment, because then I immediately had the thought like, oh, like I could do one of those little intercom things and trying to
crazy.
interpret the chorus as a captain's, talking to passengers over the intercom. So that's what I ended up doing, and then it ended up replacing the post-chorus that I had there at the time, and I think it worked perfectly.
It's so good.
It's really good. It's my favorite part of the song, the bridge and that part. And I'm glad you didn't apologize for it at the end of it because it's great.
yeah.
No need to apologize for that one, Gary.
Should have had like a post chorus. I was like, y'all, I just want to say I'm so sorry if I offended anyone.
If you were offended by my bridge. So sorry.
G-Dog out.
Yeah.
That's how it should have ended.
Yeah. While we're also sharing Tony's advice and his good feedback, he helped me do some of the back end production on this. He did the mastering, and then he did some final mixing and stuff. And one thing he added to this song that I think helped fill it out quite a bit is the echoes after it's the post chorus where you're hearing the we're going down. That whole portion with the echoes was added by Tony, the echoes specifically. And I initially did not like it and was like, I don't know about
You're
this.
ruining my song.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know about this. But then I realized it was actually like helping fill out some of the space. And so thank you, Tony, because I actually love it now. Be open to ideas is the lesson I learned. But I have two favorite parts of this song that I want to share real quick. One is the bookends. So when you listen to this song, you will immediately melt because my 1-year-old son is featured, and he came into the basement while I was recording actually 2 times. The reason he appears both at the beginning and the end of the song is because he kept coming into my my office and he'd just be babbling and stuff. So I'm like, I'm gonna record this. So I put him up on the mic, and he just spit hot fire. And
It's like, yo, you can freestyle?
Straight fire from the booth.
yeah. So thank you, Lachlan. And
Shout out Lachlan.
And the other favorite part is the talk box. So at the end of the original song, there's a gospel choir part.
Oof, so good. Yeah.
That I forget what the name of the choir is that performs that. But I was thinking from the beginning when I first started production on this, I was like, I gotta use my talk box to do the gospel choir part. So I did end up using the talk box, but what's unique about this track specifically versus my previous talk box track, I used a talk box on a song called Funky Skunk. What I had to do,
A legendary song.
what I
So
had to
good.
do on Funky Skunk, because it is so complicated trying to, for anyone who doesn't know what a talk box is, you're running a synth through a plastic tube, and then you stick the tube in the back of your throat, basically, and then you mouth the words, and the synthesizer comes out in the shape of the words. and so it is so complicated to play a melody with your hand while also operating like your mouth, because you kind of have to use I don't have the proper equipment, so I'm kind of like hand holding the tube in my mouth and trying to make sure it doesn't fall out, while also not choking on it.
That'd be a fun sound.
And and so like playing the melody and concentrating on the talk box performance was really complicated. So on Funky Skunk, I basically had to pre-record my synth parts, and then run the pre-recording through the talk box, and then perform the mouth part. But on this song, I finally succeeded in doing the whole thing live, where I'm playing the melody live into my mouth. Which sounds gross, but it sounds cool too.
It's gross and cool.
So yeah, check out the talk box at the end of Down to Earth.
Yeah. I'm so glad that happened, because once I heard it the first time, I was like, yes, it made it in, and it sounds good.
Yeah, I like it. So yeah, that's Down to Earth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great job, man. Great job.
And Ben, you and I, we belong together.
So emotional, man. Thank you. We do belong together.
So We Belong Together from Toy Story 3, written by Randy Newman. So we're at this point we're Newman.
Yeah.
We're Newman it up. And this one is Ben. Contrary to what you're going to see online, it is not a person named Faustinian. It is an artist called Faustinian, whose real name is Ben. So Ben has a ongoing musical act. What do you call this project?
I have a what do you call it when you have like a
stage name, basically.
There's another name for it, like a pseudo. What is that term?
Pseudonym.
When you have like a separate
Mascot.
no, like
pen name,
a separate
alter ego.
Yeah.
Like a
I think pseudonym
superhero
is the
name.
word.
What?
Superhero name.
Superhero name.
Yeah.
The Great Faustinian.
Present.
Yeah.
But yes,
Excited to be here, guys.
So Faustinian is his musician name. So.
Yes, indeed.
So don't get confused. It is Ben singing "We Belong Together." But
yeah.
Ben, what made you pick "We Belong Together"?
Well, on that note of emotion, actually, I told MG about this the other day.
Oh yeah.
So try to keep this short, but so my wife Sarah and I, so MG's sister, shout out Sarah.
Yo.
Love you. I'll be home soon. No, Sarah and I, we have a little kiddo, a little boy that we're raising. He's our son, and his name is Theron, and he is a foster kiddo that we're hoping to adopt. And he is so special to us, obviously, and it's been a long journey with it's for anyone who's fostered before, it's very hard. It's very hard to foster, especially when you're wanting to hopefully keep them forever. And there's just been a lot of signs that God has shown that like we belong together as a family. And I was telling MG this, that I would catch myself, this is before the EP project, I would catch myself randomly singing that, like with him or to him. I was holding him and singing the chorus, and then we started working on this EP project, and this is like foreshadowing later with another track. But I was working on a different track, and I was having some issues with it, and I thought about maybe not doing that other track completely. And then one night, that I think maybe I was singing it, or it was on the top of my brain. And I think everyone else was asleep. I was just alone with my guitar in the dimly lit living room. And I don't know why, but I just thought, I was like, we belong together. Yeah, like I want to play that. Like nothing to do with the project. And so I got out my guitar and I started like looking at the chords. And I started playing it, and I had only remembered the chorus. Like I didn't even really know the song that well, honestly. But I started playing the song, and again, I was like reading some of the lyrics for the first time. And as I was playing it, I just started crying, and thinking about him. And and so I was like, okay, I think this is a sign that like I should probably think about doing something with this song. There's something special here. And so then then I was like, okay, like we need to do this. So I remember texting you guys. I was like, hey, what do you think? Like, I know there's another track, but man, I really I got to do this song. I have to do it. I have a huge emotional connection to it. And so that's kind of the story.
Wow. All of us are like, hey, we picked bangers. Yeah. Ben's like, this was a song that made me cry because of my son.
God.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, it does not happen every day, but it was that track. Well, I'm thankful to Randy Newman for writing it, because I think it was very, very therapeutic playing it and recording it.
So my son was featured on my track, but your son inspired your track.
Hey, shout out to our sons. Let's go.
Shout out Theron and Lachlan.
Shout out Little T.
Yeah.
Little T.
Little Lockie. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, tell us about production. How was what were the challenges and the experience of recording We Belong Together?
Yeah, the biggest challenge was I had the crazy idea of wanting to record it live, the whole thing, like one take kind of dealio. And yeah, I think that's just one of those things I always wanted to do. Like I'd hear about people who record like a live album or whatever, and I'd be like, that sounds so difficult, but so cool and like raw and authentic. And so I don't know why it just seemed like a good time to try it. I think part of it is just because the like adaptation that I was going with was like more of a soft, tender kind of acoustic version. So I was like, oh, it's just me and a guitar. I wasn't planning on doing any other overdubs with any other instruments. So I was like, it's just me and a guitar. Like, okay, that would be cool. And then I wouldn't have to do any overdubs. I did end up doing a little bit with the vocal, but like it was pretty stripped down. So yeah, so I did, I practiced it for a while because I was like, oh man, like one take, woo, no going back and tweaking anything. So I think I did 3 takes, and I think it was the 3rd take, and that was the magic one. So
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you said you did an acoustic version. If you listen to the original song, it's not an acoustic version. I think your song is the most different from the original.
Well,
I
see,
think.
and what I love,
maybe the last song.
yeah, the last
Yeah,
song,
yeah.
I would say the last track on the EP is probably
Yeah.
the most different. But the thing that I love about We Belong Together is that you listen to it and you instantly recognize it. It's like you know what song it is. Like it sounds like, it doesn't sound like Randy Newman singing it, but you can tell. Oh, this is We Belong Together, the Randy Newman song from Toy Story 3. But it sounds nothing like it. Like it's recognizable, but it gives a completely different context to the lyrics. Which is why it's so exciting. You just shared, the inspiration behind picking it, because that explains that context. Is like if it has a different feel than when Randy Newman sings "We Belong Together." It sounds like something from his voice, but then when you sing "We Belong Together" is so clearly your voice, which I just love that is the mark of a great cover. Because Ben and I have talked about this many times, how greatest cover of all time, "Hurt" by Johnny Cash.
Yes.
Such a good cover that the original writers of the song, 9 Inch Nail, they just said basically it's his song now. And like they couldn't have done it better than him. And so it touches on the same kind of I think approach to cover art as that song, where you're taking something beloved and then changing it so much so that it suddenly becomes like has a new identity, but it isn't a different song.
Yeah, right. Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, that was definitely, it just was like an organic thing, that happened. A happy accident.
Yeah. Great job.
Thank you.
It's one of my favorite tracks.
Oh, appreciate it.
It was absolutely, without a doubt, it was my favorite track, and it still is, and I listen to it all the time. Like, I don't know, sometimes I don't like listening to, re-listening to songs I know that me or people I knew produced, but that one, I just come back to it all the time because, like they were saying, it's so different from the original. It doesn't even sound like it's from a Pixar movie. It just, I remember the first time you sent it to me and just had me listen to the demo, and I don't know, I was cleaning my room or something, but I just stopped what I was doing. It was just like, whoa, man. I was straight up mesmerized. I was like, this is the best song I've ever heard. I don't know. It was cool. I'm not going to go on and on, but I think it was so unique because you just didn't need anything else. It was so raw, but it had my attention every second.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know how you could make something so simple but captivating.
Yeah.
So good job, bro.
Thank you. It's all little tea, honestly.
I think you can tell. Yeah. I think you can tell how deep of a meaning it means to you. Somehow, maybe that's why it grabs you.
Yeah, it like I said, it was. Yeah, I'm just so thankful for him because it's the whole story with him, and I'm grateful. Like I said, I'm grateful for Randy writing it because it really is something that it allowed me to I think more properly think about Sarah and I's journey with him, and it kind of encapsulated it a little bit, just the idea of when for us, you're falling in love with a little kiddo and you don't know if you're going to keep him, but it feels like that you've always belonged together. And so I think, thank you thank you for saying that. But yeah, I'm all thanks to him and to God for giving us him. So
That's awesome. Well, track number 5 is a little bit of a different. It goes in a different direction. So at this point, if you guys are doing the math, there are 4 of us and there are 6 tracks.
I'm not adding up here.
We
How
have
can
2
that
more
be?
guests. What?
Shout out Theron and Lockie.
Yeah.
No, for serious though, we ended up adding 2 extra tracks. I think the reason was because when you were working on Learn Me Right, whoops. Spoiler alert!
Oh my!
when Ben was working on the last track, and then he ended up switching gears to working on We Belong Together. We decided to kind of do some team ups. So we added the 2 extra tracks so that we could kind of add some collaboration into the album, and everyone wasn't just working on an island for the whole thing. So that's where I went over to Tony's house. We sat down. We pulled up a Spotify playlist of Pixar songs. We looked at each other and said, "What should we do?"
That's pretty much the whole story.
and literally in the course of a Sunday afternoon, as I recall, we always work together on Sunday afternoons. What the heck? We wrote the entire soundtrack to Grimtale on a Sunday afternoon. Yeah. We picked I want to say randomly. I think I had in mind, like, I really want to do something more poppy because like that's kind of my like synths and stuff like that. That's kind of my field, and drums. And Tony is so good at producing pop. Like, obviously he had already shown me his demo for Steal the Show at this point. So I was like, maybe we should do a 4-Town track. Ooh. So we, I picked out my favorite 4-Town song and showed it to Tony, and he was like, And then he played the other 2 4-Town songs, and he's like, yeah, no, we're going to do that one.
Yeah.
So You Know What's Up is from Turning Red, and it's written by Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell.
No
so
way.
We got some big names we're covering. And yeah, this I think the way we started this, Tony, jump in anytime.
I'm trying to remember.
I think
it happened really fast.
It happened really fast. Like I said, we recorded pretty much 90% of it in like a Sunday afternoon. The way Tony operates is so interesting because he kind of works off of a vibe. And he was like, what kind of songs should we listen to figure out like what this song should sound like? And so he's like pulling up different tracks, and he shows me a song from Taylor Swift album. Is the album called Folklore, or yeah? So it was a song from Taylor Swift's Folklore album, and it had some like cool acoustic kind of pick patterns and stuff. Like, yeah.
What is that song? I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what song it is, but
it's got an acoustic part at the beginning. It's like ding, 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 ding. I might just be singing our song, but it sounds it's like a similar vibe, and I was like, that's cool. Like what she does, it's kind of like pop music is like so full of stuff, and that Taylor Swift album is like super stripped down where you can hear every single instrument that's happening. And that one features an acoustic, I think, at the beginning. Is like super reverby and just like sounds like you're sitting in a big old room with the acoustic right next to you. So I was like, that is a cool sound. I like that a lot. So I think that's how we started it. Was it one of the first couple tracks on the album? Probably, yeah.
Because The One is track 1, Cardigan is track 2, The Last Great American Dynasty is track 3.
It's not that one.
Taylor, let us know in the comments. Which one is it? Just go ahead and drop it.
Appreciate it. T.
Okay, so yeah, it's in there. But yeah, we
just listen to all of them.
Tony pulled
She
out.
needs a couple more listens. You know?
Tony pulled out a Taylor Swift inspired little pattern riff that is what you hear in the final song, and then and then from there we just kind of kept adding stuff, and a lot of it was very much just like me saying, "Hey, what if blank?" And then Tony would be like, "Give me a second," and then he would just do it. And I like, no joke. That's literally what working with Tony is like. Is like he just was like, you know what? Like I basically forced the song on him, and he's just like, all right, sounds good. And then it's like I just throw ideas out, and he's just like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But like the like. For example, I'll give a practical example. When we're recording the chorus, if you recall in the original song, the chorus is just kind of like the line is not sung repeatedly like the way Tony and I did it. And we were originally going to record it the way the original song is sung. And we were getting ready to record like a temp track or something. And I was just like, hey, like, what if I just repeat the line like this? And Tony's like, yeah, we're doing that. Another example was when we were trying to figure out what to do for the speaking part, because there's a speaking part in verse 2. And I just started riff singing. And that's literally how we came up with that.
Yeah, we were sitting there like, that's another... you like picking unique songs.
Oh, thank you.
Your solo cover and this one are like, have elements in it that are hard. You can't just like grab an acoustic guitar and play the songs. Like, there's some effort that has to be put into it.
Yeah.
This one is because, is it verse 2 is like the lead singer of Four Town like yelling to the audience and they respond. But there's just some talking elements before he starts the call and response thing, and I'm like, we're not gonna do this in an acoustic guitar style cover. Like, this doesn't make any sense. How the heck do we do this? So I was like, Gareth, we gotta sing this. And he's like, okay. And I'm like, I'm gonna hit record, just start singing something. Like, just start singing the words and we'll figure out what happens. And you did, and I was like, that was good. Let's just do that.
So verse 2, the ladies and gentlemen, that part that was all ad-libbed?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought maybe it was, but I was like, there's no way, like, because they wouldn't have just ignored lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
So what is the actual verse 2?
Well, those are the lyrics. Like we didn't change the lyrics, but in the original song, there's spoken word. Like they're not necessarily rhythmic to the song. They're just kind of like
they're just kind of shouted out. Or
it sounds like concert interaction. Like you're interacting with the crowd.
Totally. Yeah.
And so we didn't know what to do with that. So
nice. I like it.
We turned it into like part of the melody.
It works really well.
Thank you.
That's how we did this whole song. That's how we did the drums too.
The drums were like, so fun.
Yeah. You were like, I've got like a MIDI drum set that's hooked up to my computer and it runs the software on the computer. And we're sitting there and I'm like, we're dinking around on the piano or something. And you're like, can I record drums? I'm like, all right, let's do it. And you just like improv'd the drums. And we might have done like 2 takes or something. And I was like, all right, that's what it is, because it fits really well, and that was kind of cool. So,
dude, the drums are sick. Like, I know. I was listening to the track the other day, and specifically, it was the end of the song, like the last chorus. I don't know what you were doing, man, but it was such a unique beat. It's so good. It's so catchy. You're doing all these crazy like snare fills and stuff. Like, it's some weird syncopation. Like, it sounds really good.
Thank you. Yeah. I think the drums were one of the really fun parts for me. There's also multiple times in the song where Tony would just like start playing. He has like a little keyboard hooked up to the computer, so he just start like adding in like little piano notes and stuff. And at one point he added, I think it's in the second verse, I want to say, he adds these little note flourishes that sound really pretty, and he just immediately deletes them. He's like, yeah, I don't like that. And I'm like, hey, undo. That was awesome. Like, that added so much. Like, he's like, really? You like it? I was like, yeah, that just like helped elevate the whole verse. Like, leave that in.
You're like reaching over Tony and hitting the
Control Z.
Tony's like, no.
But then there was also like the time where we were doing the outro like instrumental part, and Tony is just like, all right, you got to do some kind of synth solo here. So he just literally puts me on the keyboard, and I was like, I don't know what to do. So I'm like really quickly trying to figure out the the key and stuff, and then he's just like, all right, record. And then I was just like, all right. And then I found like one sequence of notes that worked, and then just kept doing it. Nice. Because I was like, I don't know what else to do right now. So
is that like the something like that?
Yeah. So, but it all came together. I think. Like I think that like like I said, 90% of what you hear in the final song, maybe higher than that, 90, 95, 99%. Was just stuff that we were just literally just messing around.
Nice.
On that first session. So I'm pretty sure the only stuff we had to come back and redo were like vocal touch-ups and stuff. But yeah, I think it was good.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally forgot to mention this on talking about Down to Earth, but it's also relevant for this track. I am not the best singer to start with, but during the whole duration of producing this EP, I was sick, and like my throat was very sore, and I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to record anything because my anytime I start singing, I start coughing. So yeah, all through and that's why we had to re-record a lot of stuff for You Know What's Up, but yeah, Down to Earth I had to re-record like several times, and even then what you hear in the final draft is me still having that cough. So I guess we'll never know what it would have sounded like if I didn't have a cough.
I thought it sounded great. Yeah, I thought both of you guys sounded. Your voices mixed really well too. Like on that song, the different like harmonies and like yeah, you guys blended very well together.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One thing we can't say about You Know What's Up is that we picked it for like a super inspired reason.
You could have made one up.
Yeah. Well, there is a reason. We just can't tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's,
Top secret.
Yeah. It's just very deeply thematic.
Yeah, it's just too deep, man.
That's too much for the pod, you know.
It's too much for this.
Not
right.
You
here.
already brought him to tears. We don't want to do it again.
But speaking of theming, Ben, you pointed this out at one point. This is again going back to Down to Earth. The inclusion of Lachlan was initially an accident, but I think you pointed out like you thought it was on purpose because like the theme of the song is about like coming down to earth, rebirth, like new life.
Yeah.
And so I guess that kind of is the theme of that song. So yeah, I guess there is some depth to this EP.
Oh yeah, there's plenty of depth. Yeah, dude. Oh yeah. I want to say real quick about You Know What's Up that this song is just so fun to listen to. Like, I'm thinking like, okay, this had to have been fun for you guys because like listening to it, like it's just so fun. Like it's so like the beat is like, especially early on, like the verse like so bouncy and just punchy, and y'all's voices are like so. It's like it sounds like you're. I don't know how to word it. Where you're trying to be like kind of like intense, you know, like like kind of like
performative,
almost like boy bandy,
Yeah,
and so you guys are channeling it really well, like you're really owning it. And the line that's like got stuck in my head, the line where it's like, I'm making paper like it's origami. Like I don't know why that line is stuck in my head, but it's just so good, guys. Like it's really fun.
I think you sang that line.
I think so.
Yeah.
And then just Tony's, you know what's up?
Yeah.
You know it's us. Yeah. It's like so good.
Am I allowed to say it's a little bit spicy, a little bit sultry?
Yeah, it's a little spicy, a little. Tangy, yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my. I can say I wasn't expecting to cover like a 90s boy band style song.
Well, 2003. It's
2003.
It's set in 2003, so that's who Billie Eilish and Phineas were trying to emulate.
They did an awesome job, dude.
Yes.
I was like, this sounds
Yes.
like a song from the 2000s.
Yeah.
Wow.
It sounds like NSYNC style.
Yeah.
Backstreet.
That
yeah.
Backstreet Boys kind of thing.
Yep.
It's like, dang, they did a great job.
Yep.
It was a lot of discovery of the song as we were going. We are letting the song discover itself.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Deep.
This is a very deep EP.
Everyone takes a sip of tea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like Our Town and We Belong Together and Down to Earth. It's all very thematically deep, and then you got You Know What's Up, which is even deeper.
Well, you know what's up, dude.
I mean, if you don't know what's up, then you
You need to check out the EP
yeah.
and look on at track 6.
The claw machine is jammed. Sorry, we gotta fix that. We'll be right back.
Like, dude, have you ever hung 10 on the EAC before?
Like no, man. What's the EAC?
Oh, intro. That's the East Australian Current, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, dude. Well, hey, like, now's your chance. It's like a vortex tube of awesomeness. You can do sick flips, shell grabs, and 360s. Plus, the views of the sea are totally righteous.
Righteous. Sign up now to register for Crush's next tour and come ride the EAC. Side effects from the tour include possible headaches, nausea, and vomiting. If you sense that you might be hurling, please note, no hurling on Crush's shell. He recently waxed it.
Are you tired of the same old bland breakfast cereal? Well, look no further than Incredible O's, the official breakfast cereal of Mr. Incredible and Pals. This delicious morning treat is not only the best tasting cereal, but it's packed with vitamins that will help you grow strong like Mr. Incredible himself. Incredible O's, now including frozen Ice Blast shaped marshmallows. Get a Mr. Skipper-Doo toy in every box. Look for it in the cereal aisle. And watch Mr. Incredible and Pals on Saturday mornings at 8. What was that? Getting pulled from the air? Superheroes illegal? Product recall? This will put us in the hole, no question. What are we going to do with all these refined grains coated in synthetic sweetener? Oh no!
We got the claw machine figured out. Now we can get on with the show. Track 6 is Learn Me Right from Brave, originally written by Mumford & Sons. And if you didn't guess, this cover is performed by Ben and
Palestinian.
Mary Grace.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So tell us what initially made you actually, yeah, you did pick this one, right?
Yeah.
It was an MG.
It was Ben to the G.
Ben to the G.
Well, M to the G was talking to me, to the G, and yeah, I think similarly as you, like Gareth, you were talking about how Down to Earth really is so vital and crucial to Wall-E. For me, Learn Me Right and Brave, like, man, I think about Brave, I think about Learn Me Right. Like, that song, such a banger, and the way it ends the movie too is so good. And, you know, speaking of Mumford, okay, Mumford & Sons, they're amazing, and I love Mumford so much.
Top 3 favorite bands all time.
Yeah, come on, y'all. Come on, Mumford.
Come on, y'all.
Come on, y'all. Yeah, see, they're all nodding their heads. Y'all can't see, but
Ben and I have seen them live twice.
yeah, Mumford & Sons are just amazing. They're just such an inspiration, just like in general with music for me. But so yeah, I think it was just kind of obvious, like, oh, we're doing Pixar covers. Okay, like I got to do the Mumford track, like, you know what I mean? And just with it being guitar driven, I was like, okay, like we can do this. But as I think what happened is we were talking about, you know, reimagining it, and of course Gareth mentioned Johnny Cash and Hurt, which is the worst thing to think about when you're trying to do a cover, because I'm like, well, we're never going to be that good. Like
Speaking of that, Ben and I saw Mumford and Sons perform "Hurt" by Johnny Cash.
They did perform "Hurt." That was insane, by the way.
By Johnny Cash, not 9 Inch.
yeah, his version. So I was thinking, okay, it's got to be different. We got to do something way different. And so I was like, I learned it on guitar, and then I was like, nope, not going to do it on guitar. We're going to do something different, maybe piano. So I go to the piano, and then I was kind of like trying to play it based off of now, like I kind of know the song from guitar. Like, let's just try something. And I just started banging around, and then before I knew it, I stumbled across something, and this is so funny because as I was jamming to it, I was thinking about Stranger Things, and I was thinking about is it end of what season is it?
It's the end of I think it's in season 2, and it's like the dramatic end of one of those episodes when they're trying to find Will and like. Yes.
Is it the We Can Be Heroes cover?
Yes, We Can Be Heroes.
Maybe it's not.
I think that's season 1.
Oh,
okay.
might be.
I think it's like the penultimate. I think it's the penultimate episode, or either the second to last or third to last episode of season 1.
Yes, I think you're right. And
yes.
I was just thinking about
that's David Bowie.
Yeah, but the cover is Peter Gabriel. Come back to Peter Gabriel. Yeah. Full circle, baby.
It's all connected.
And it's very different from the David Bowie one because he does like it's more like piano-ish.
Yeah,
I don't
orchestral.
know. Yeah.
It's way different.
I remember when that Stranger Things first came out, I listened to that a ton. Yeah.
I would say, like, for all y'all out there who would like to see amazing like reimaginations of songs. So we mentioned Johnny Cash, "Hurt." You have to hear the 9 Inch Nails version, and then I would say David Bowie, "We Can Be Heroes," and Peter Gabriel.
Such a good song for both of them.
Yeah.
Like,
I would say it's right up there as far as like creativity, totally changing the song, but like making it so freaking good. So I think that's probably what happened. I think I was listening to "Hurt" and that song. That's probably what happened. And so then I was playing piano and on bass. I'm just playing. I'm pretty much. I think if you listen to it, it's kind of the same thing. So I kind of rip a little bit, but
no.
But anyways, so then I was playing this piano, and I was like, whoa, this is way different. But I was like, I think this could work. And then I immediately thought of MG, and I was like, oh snap. If we get MG to sing on this is going to be insane. Like, this could be so sick. So I remember I think this is even before I may have even asked you. I can't remember, but I sent you a demo of the rough, really rough with like yeah. Do you remember your reaction to that?
I literally said, yo, this is just like that Stranger Things song before you told me.
Yeah, and I was like, whoa, because you're the only one who said that. I was like, dang, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, sure. Bro. It's in our blood. Actually, not really, because you're my brother-in-law, but whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Anyways, the spiritual blood, if you will. That sounds really weird, but anyways.
Moving on.
Moving on. So, do you remember what you said else about it though? I remember you said it like you're all caps. You're like, this is a banger.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, because that I needed to hear that because I was like, I don't know about this. Like,
oh yeah, of course.
Because
I was like, I didn't even recognize it from. I went and listened to like the original, and I was like, oh, this is the same song. Like Ben's version is so sick.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. So I scrapped a previous version, like your story with Down to Earth, same thing. I recorded a demo, scrapped it. I was like, this is not working at all, and it was totally different than what I sent you. And then I tried this new thing, and then you were like, that's sweet, and I was like, okay, let's do this. And I was really like nervous. I mean, I knew it was gonna be good if MG sang on it. I knew that was gonna be good, but I was like, I don't know, this is way different. And I think I remember even sending it to you, Gareth, and I think you even had some feedback. You were like, this is really different. Like, could either be really cool or could be like maybe too much. Like, you had like a kind of a comment about that.
Yeah,
and I was like,
I think my initial comment was it sounded so different. I couldn't recognize, like, the fact that I knew what song it was helped me identify, the lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, if I just heard this on the radio, I would have no clue that it was a cover of "Learn Me Right."
Oh yeah. It's so that was something that made me really nervous. But I was like, okay, you know what? Like, full send. Like, let's just do this.
Might as
like.
well.
That was kind of what. So then I was like, all right, here we go. So like, retract the piano, like a upright piano, and then had MG sing on it, and I was like, okay, I think this is working. I'm still like, oh, like, is this a cover? Like, it's so different. But y'all were really supportive, and I remember, Tony, you said something. You're like I'm glad you didn't like. you weren't afraid to like go that way with it because we definitely did go.
Yeah,
in-
Mumford & Sons hasn't sent you any like hate mail or anything. Like, I think you're good.
Yeah, I think
Birdo, I think. Is
I
also
think the
Oh, yeah.
boldest. I think the boldest choice with the whole thing is in the chorus. Correct me if I'm wrong, but there's like an extra measure between lyrics.
Yeah,
that
there's-
lets the song breathe.
Yeah.
and that's what's making it sound so original and like standalone. Is the ability to. I guess that really makes it feel more somber because in the original it's not a hype song, but it is upbeat and it is a little bit celebratory and celebratory.
Yeah.
Did I say that weird?
Yeah, no, you said it right. Yeah.
And so having the chorus, taking a chorus where it just kind of goes beat beat beat, but then you take it and you go beat beat
Right. Yeah.
beat. And it's not like you're changing the tempo. Just want to be clear for anyone who's not musical that's listening. I'm not saying he slowed the song down. I'm saying he literally added measures between lyrics that are not existing in the original track. So he's basically making the song have a different armature or skeleton. He's giving it a different skeleton.
Yeah. Because like for those who are just to help you all out listening, so the original is like, we will run and scream, you will dance with me, like that. And then we did it's like, we will run and scream.
Yeah, sing it, bitch.
Yeah. So it like adds in that kind of like space a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's both unrecognizable and like a truly unique cover. Like I think it just makes it have it allows it to have that space to be its own kind of vibe.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, man. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like hype, but in a different way. It was less like frolicking in the Scottish fields or whatever.
Yeah, totally.
And more like, ooh, I don't know, like driving fast in your car at night.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know. That was my interpretation.
Yeah, it is.
It's a little bit brooding.
More angsty.
Yeah.
But in a hype way.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's the emo version.
Yes. Well,
Maybe I shouldn't have said that. If someone's still listening and hasn't gone to listen to the EP yet, now they're gonna
not
think it's like
actually
a pop punk. It's not pop
Death
punk.
metal.
It's not punk.
You hear me go,
pop punk.
wow.
if you listen closely, there's a version of MG singing that in the background. No,
Screamo.
yeah.
No, it's still very folksy. Let's
Yeah.
be clear. It is still very much the roots of the song are maintained, but it's such a different flavor.
Yeah. Well, this is coming full circle because you mentioned pop punk, and we didn't even say the inspiration behind the EP as a whole.
Oh yeah, like why we decided to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, like it actually started. Yeah, I guess it did really start with the A Whole New Sound is an album that Disney released last year that is all basically pop punk bands covering Disney songs. I'm a big fan of pop punk. It's one of my favorite genres, so I was obviously all about it, listening to it a ton. And I was talking to Ben, I think, about how like it's interesting. You know, there are Pixar covers obviously out there, and even on Whole New Sound, there's Pixar covers. But like, there's never been like a tribute specifically to Pixar music.
Right.
It's always a tribute to Disney. There's lots of Disney cover compilations out there, but nothing specifically for Pixar. And I was like, well, what if we did that? There's like a lot of Pixar songs.
Yeah.
A lot of original songs to pick from. So much so that like you could make an entire album or multiple albums out of covering Pixar songs. And we're like, if we just do a little EP, you know.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think the thing that kicked me in the butt was our friend Jeremy. Shout out Jeremy.
Shout out Jay.
Texted us to ask about something related to the legality of like how to publish
Covers. Right?
covers. Yeah. And I was thinking like, oh, I'll just do some research so that I can answer some of Jeremy's questions. And as I'm doing the research, I'm realizing, oh, I want to do this now. So I like called Ben and I was like, hey, I know that like I get really excited very easily, and like I sometimes will just like pitch you really crazy ideas and they're really ambitious, and like you sometimes have to pull me back down to earth, and because I'm so crazy and like always trying to add more projects and have too many irons in the fire. But what if? And then you were like, yes, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I remember that phone call, and I was like, I'm so down for this. And I remember. Do you guys remember when we reached out? Like, what happened?
We should mention the initial phone call. Both of your names were two of the first names that came up.
Oh,
so,
totally. Yeah, right away.
So
Oh.
we immediately knew that like you two were going to be on the EP.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And do you remember how that went down? I think we must have texted you guys or something.
You probably just like asked me at some family function. I don't know.
Yeah. You guys
But I
weren't sure.
remember being so stoked because I was like, "This is my moment!" Like to finally learn how to like produce and stuff.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's something that all of us, the three of us, we talked about is like, we were so excited for you as we watched you, like, recording the song and just seeing how awesome it was. We were like, just so excited. Like, this is like a chance to like set you off sailing, you know what I mean? And yeah, you're ready to fly, I feel like now. So we're excited to see. We're excited to see what you make up next.
Definitely. Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, one observation I was going to make about the EP as a whole isn't super significant, but I thought it was interesting that Tony and I both picked songs co-written by Thomas Newman, and then we teamed up to do a track that was written by pop musicians. Ben and MG both picked covers that were written by Randy Newman.
Oh.
And then teamed up to record a track that was originally written by pop musicians. So, I don't know. It seems like if you look at the EP, it feels very symmetrical.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I would say there's a good balance of like slower and poppy songs, like hype. We bring you up and then bring you back down. Then we bring you up and then we bring you back down.
Yeah, we do that. Yeah, it's true. Well, as I said earlier, when I called you out, Tony, and I was thanking you for your help with this EP, I gotta say, just shout out to you, TZ, for all your help with overseeing the project with feedback, but also production and specifically mastering. Like you mastered all these tracks, which I know was a huge undertaking, and they sound amazing, like especially before and after. So thanks, bro, for
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. It was fun. I have never like sat down and properly mastered songs, especially like an album of songs, because you do that differently than you master a single. And I've always been like, just like slap some mastering stuff on this, whatever. It already sounds okay. It'll sound fine. But it was very fun and a big learning experience to like really dig into like, what do other people do when they're mastering? Oh, they use, I'm not going to get super technical, but they use all these different tools. I'm like, okay, what tools do I have? What tools do I need to get? So I got some like tools, some plugins and stuff. And I was like, okay, how do I really like nail down using this thing on this specific song to make it tie into all these other ones? So it was a really cool learning experience for sure. And I appreciate you letting me work on all of your songs. So it was fun, really fun.
Of course.
Yeah.
You helped us with a lot of feedback. That was just ended up being so good. Like made our songs just like shiny.
Yeah.
And
nice.
Yeah.
Finished.
Good. Well, I'm glad you guys liked them.
Well, go stream the heck out of A113, please.
Yeah.
If you guys stream it enough and like we see that people are listening to it, because we can see those stats. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but maybe I'll pick another one.
Oh, another EP?
Oh,
Yeah, that'd be lit.
maybe. Oh,
I don't know.
do you guys want to?
This is like when you're like in third grade and you ask the kid on the playground to hang out. You're like, hey, you want to be friends? I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you want to hang out? I mean, I don't know. Maybe sometime after school. I don't know.
I was homeschooled, so I can't relate. But
I remember that I met you in high school, senior year, and you were
That's
like,
true.
at the career center, you're like, hey, I don't know, like after career center.
Yeah, you were on the playground, right?
a couple of 18-year-olds hanging out there.
On the playground, smoking some cigs. No, okay, no, we didn't do that. Did not do that. No, okay. Definitely not. Sorry, go ahead. I'm trying to figure out how to get in the playground in there. All right. No. Gareth is the last person to smoke a cigar, and Gareth is digging a hole thing. He was reading Bible verses. He was praying over me. No. Oh gosh.
We might have to cut some of this out.
Okay. Oh gosh, that was my last cigar.
Oh no!
Got baptized on the spot at the playground.
I haven't smoked since, Gary. You saved my life, man. Okay.
Okay.
Anywho.
Did any of you guys want to share any last final thoughts about the EP, about your tracks, about your experiences, takeaways?
Yeah, I think it's a fun listen, and I think MG put it well when she said it like takes you on a ride, because it definitely like starts really poppy and then immediately goes like acoustic, piano, light, and then it goes eventually to a early 2000s pop cover, and then it ends with this like experimental style like alternative song, which is awesome. I didn't throw any input in on that, but I love that is the last song on the EP, because I love it when final songs are way more like experimental and leave you with like, whoa, that was creative and kind of awesome. And that's the vibe I get from that last song. So awesome job on that. Love how the whole thing basically is just like one giant build and then ends. And I'm like, whoa, that was a trip right there. Like that was a ride I was just on. That was awesome. So overall, nice job, everybody, creating a nice path for us to go down.
Well done.
Well done.
Yeah. This was, I don't know, we didn't say this at the top, but I mean, we probably said before that, you know, like we do music things outside of this, and we've talked about having like friends that are like filmmaking friends. We may have mentioned that we have music friends like outside of this, and this is just such an awesome opportunity to like collaborate with our friends and just showcase such talent and be able to like bring them into this like the podcast and be able to that's really like, at least for me, my goal is like to really like help y'all get some views and get some eyes on y'all's amazing talent. And so yeah, it's just a blessing that we were able to make this happen, but also to like hopefully this pod can do a little bit of just throwing love y'all's way. So thank you guys for saying yes to this crazy idea.
Go stream all of Tony's music and all of MG's upcoming music.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, go check them out on Spotify. I'm doing it again. Sorry, we didn't record this, but apparently I
before we started the recording, was it Tony? You pointed out that Ben always like abbreviates words. He'll like drop syllables out, and it's just something he's done his whole life, I guess. Like that, like he doesn't notice it because he just always does it.
Yeah, I do refer to Spotify as Spot, and I just realized as I was saying it, I was like, oh, that's gonna sound weird.
He literally, I shared this story before we hit record, that Ben literally was the first person to ever call a podcast a pod, because he was calling them pods way before that was a thing. So yeah, I guess can be credited as inventing the abbreviation pod.
Yeah. Somewhere out there on a wiki or there's a history. I'm the guy. You're welcome. But anyways, yeah, guys, thanks so much again for doing this EP. Thanks for taking time on your Good Friday. You know, with your family and stuff.
Of course.
Did MG have any final thoughts?
What an honor, and also to be surrounded by like experienced dudes, experienced musicians that could just help me and like inspire me to follow my style. Yeah, it was just so cool to meet you guys, and it's been great. The EP turned out amazing, and I had no idea what to expect because honestly I didn't really know you guys that well. So to hear like all of the styles come together. I know we already said this, but it seems to blend and balance perfectly. So
Let's go.
Yeah. My final thoughts is like, I initially thought of this as it was just going to be like a really fun project and it was going to be cool. And I don't know, like when I think Pixar covers, I think like fun, upbeat songs. And little did I know, like the end product would actually be something resonant. Like we've talked a lot about just the themes in like Our Town and in We Belong Together, and how like Ben has kind of reinvented that song to really mean something, I would argue, deeper than the original. And like even my track, like having Lachlan on it, and Ben pointing out that, you know, like the theme of the song is about rebirth and new beginnings, and like there's just a lot of depth to this EP that I was not expecting, and that's really, really, really cool to see. So please support our art by streaming it. And I also want to close.
We're starving artists, man. We haven't eaten in weeks.
I also want to close by letting Ben know that I just added Peter Gabriel's cover of Heroes to my Spotify playlist of all-time best cover songs.
Yes. So good.
So with that, keep it in O for Onward.
Because adventure is out there.
Kachiga.
There's two kajigas.
Oh, I did. Kachiga.
So good. You have to restart that one.
Okay.
Start over again. As we say.
All right, sorry. Start it again.
As we say.
Keep it in O for Onward.
Because adventure is out there.
Kachiga.
Bye-bye now.
To infinity
and beyond.
Pizza
out.